Imagine a meeting so unexpected, so unprecedented, that it challenges everything we thought we knew about Somali politics. This single gathering has the potential to redraw the political map of the Horn of Africa, shifting alliances and shaking up decades-old assumptions. On February 1st, 2026, the leaders of Puntland and Jubaland aren't in their own capitals, or even in Mogadishu, the seat of federal power. Their offices sit empty, their absence impossible to ignore. Instead, they've travelled north to Hargeisa, the bustling capital of the self-declared Republic of Somaliland, a city that has long stood apart from the rest of Somalia. This isn't a courtesy call or a symbolic gesture. It's a high-stakes summit, mediated by a nation the world doesn't officially recognize, but whose influence is now impossible to dismiss. For the first time in history, major Somali federal state leaders are bypassing Mogadishu entirely to hold formal talks under Somaliland's guidance, signaling a dramatic shift in regional dynamics. The key players at the table are President Saeed Abdullahi Deni of Puntland, President Ahmed Madobe of Jubaland, and their host President Musa Bihi Abdi of Somaliland, who has long sought international legitimacy for his government. This extraordinary meeting was sparked by mounting frustration. Just days ago, their security teams were blocked from landing in Mogadishu, a move widely seen as a deliberate provocation by the federal government. Now, in Hargeisa, these leaders are making a bold statement of autonomy, forging new alliances, and sending a clear message to Mogadishu and the world. The implications are immense. Could this be the birth of a new political bloc, a coalition that could reshape the future of Somalia and the wider region? Or is it a risky gamble, one that could deepen Somalia's divisions and set off a new wave of political uncertainty? For Somaliland, hosting this summit is a diplomatic masterstroke, a rare opportunity to act as the independent nation it claims to be, and to showcase its stability to the world. For Puntland and Jubaland, it's a chance to coordinate strategies, strengthen their positions, and push back against what they see as federal overreach from Mogadishu. The world is watching closely, with diplomats, analysts, and ordinary citizens alike wondering if this moment marks the dawn of a new era for Somalia, or the beginning of even greater instability. The stakes have never been higher, and the outcome of this meeting could echo across the region for years to come. To truly grasp the weight of this meeting, it's important to look beyond the headlines and understand the complex realities on the ground. You need to understand the region's political geography, where borders are not just lines, but living boundaries shaped by history, conflict, and ambition. Somaliland in the northwest has its own government, army, and even its own currency, functioning as a de facto state since 1991. Despite its stability and self-governance, it remains unrecognized by the international community, which complicates its quest for legitimacy. To the east is Puntland, a semi-autonomous state formed in 1998. Puntland's leaders have long aimed to be part of a federated Somalia, but on their own terms, maintaining significant independence in security and governance. Further south lies Jubaland, anchored by the strategic port city of Kismayo, established as a federal state in 2013 after ousting al-Shabaab. Jubaland controls vital trade routes and resources, making it a key player in Somalia's future. Together, these three territories cover much of Somalia's land and coastline. Each is led by powerful figures with their own visions for the country, and each region's interests often clash with those of the central government. Somaliland seeks full independence and international recognition, while Puntland and Jubaland remain within Somalia, but demand real autonomy and a greater say in national affairs. The relationship between these states and Mogadishu is fraught, marked by disputes over power, resources, and the very meaning of federalism. Tensions often flare over control of ports, revenues, and security. The fact that Puntland and Jubaland now turn to Somaliland for mediation, rather than Mogadishu, speaks volumes about shifting alliances and the erosion of central authority. It highlights a deepening rift at the heart of Somali politics, where old loyalties are breaking down and new power centers are emerging. These aren't just lines on a map. They represent rival centers of power, each with its own ambitions and supporters. The old order is being challenged, and the future of Somalia will depend on how these regions and their leaders choose to navigate this uncertain landscape. Somaliland's story is one of resilience and paradox. After breaking away in 1991, Somaliland built its own government, held peaceful elections, and maintained security, while the rest of Somalia struggled with war and instability. Yet, despite its achievements, Somaliland remains unrecognized, unable to access international loans or travel freely. Hosting this summit is a strategic move. Somaliland steps out of the shadows, positioning itself as a stabilizing force in the Horn of Africa. President Musa Bihi Abdi is showing that Hargeisa can be a center for Somali diplomacy when Mogadishu fails. This act of mediation is a powerful PR campaign. Somaliland isn't just a breakaway region, but a potential partner for peace. It's a bold play for the recognition it has long sought. The world may finally have to take notice. Somaliland is rewriting its own narrative. Puntland and Jubaland chose federalism, not secession, but on their own terms. They see themselves as pillars of a new Somalia, not subordinates to Mogadishu. Their relationship with the federal government is a constant tug-of-war over power, resources, and security. The recent flight blockade was the last straw, a direct insult and escalation from Mogadishu. Now, by joining forces and seeking Somaliland's mediation, Denny and Madobe are creating a new political axis outside the federal framework. They're sending a clear message: treat us as equal partners, or we'll forge our own path. This is a united front the central government can't ignore. The balance of power is shifting. The Hargeisa summit is driven by urgency and shared interests. For the leaders of Somaliland, Puntland and Jubaland, this is more than just another diplomatic gathering. It's a rare opportunity to shape their own destinies in a rapidly changing region. Security tops the agenda. All three regions face persistent threats from Al-Shabaab, whose attacks destabilize communities and disrupt daily life. Yet these leaders distrust Mogadishu's security apparatus, believing it cannot fully protect their people or interests. Puntland and Jubaland have developed their own capable forces over the years. Now they're looking to coordinate operations and intelligence, securing borders and sharing resources without federal interference. This collaboration could be a game-changer for regional stability. Economic interests are just as important. Somaliland's Berbera, Puntland's Bosaso, and Jubaland's Kismayo ports could form a powerful trade corridor, bypassing Mogadishu and opening new routes for commerce and development. Harmonizing customs, improving road links, and attracting investment would boost their leverage, making these regions more self-reliant and appealing to international partners. Politically, they aim to present a united front in negotiations with the federal government, demanding real power sharing, greater autonomy, and a meaningful say in Somalia's future direction. For Somaliland, facilitating this alliance elevates its status from petitioner to kingmaker, giving it new leverage both at home and on the international stage. The Hargeisa summit is about building a coalition strong enough to change the rules of the game, setting new precedents for cooperation and self-determination. This is more than a meeting. It's a blueprint for a new regional order, one that could inspire similar movements elsewhere in the Horn of Africa. The stakes are high. Security, prosperity, and political survival all hang in the balance as these leaders chart a new course. The outcome could reshape Somalia, offering hope for a more stable, prosperous, and inclusive future for its people. In Mogadishu, the Hargeisa summit is seen as outright defiance. The federal government will likely condemn the meeting, calling it illegal and unconstitutional, a threat to national unity. Accusations of treason and collaboration with a secessionist entity may follow, along with financial and legal pressure on Puntland and Jubaland. This move fundamentally shifts Somalia's power dynamics. A new axis bypasses the center, risking Mogadishu's relevance. The government faces a choice: double down and risk deeper crisis, or seek compromise and rebuild trust. But with tensions high, conciliation seems unlikely. The Hargeisa summit has drawn a new line in the sand. Somalia's future hangs in the balance. The world is watching the Hargeisa summit closely. Ethiopia, the UAE, Turkey and even Israel have stakes in Somalia's stability and alliances. Ethiopia, recently courting Somaliland, must now weigh its next move as a new bloc emerges. The UAE's investments in Puntland, Jubaland and Somaliland align with this new alliance, while Turkey, a key backer of Mogadishu, sees its influence threatened. Western nations worry that infighting will weaken the fight against al-Shabaab. Even Israel sees opportunity in new, stable partners. This isn't just Somali politics, it's a regional chess match. Every move is being watched from afar. The Hargeisa summit sets Somalia on a knife's edge between unity and fragmentation. The best-case scenario, the alliance forces Mogadishu to compromise, leading to a renewed national dialogue and a more balanced federal system. The summit could paradoxically save Somali federalism by showing the cost of ignoring it. The worst case, Mogadishu cracks down, the alliance hardens, and Somalia splits into rival blocs, fueling conflict and empowering extremists. Somaliland could gain recognition as a peacemaker, or be blamed for sparking wider chaos. The leaders in Hargeisa are walking a tightrope. Their actions could bring peace and prosperity, or unleash new turmoil. The next steps will determine Somalia's fate. The stakes: national unity, security, and the future of the Horn of Africa. The world is watching, and so are millions of Somalis. The outcome is far from certain. The Hargeisa summit is more than a political headline. It's a turning point for Somalia. Born from frustration with Mogadishu, it's a bold declaration of autonomy and a search for a new way forward. Somaliland seizes its chance as a regional peacemaker. Puntland and Jubaland draw a line against centralization, their agenda: security, trade and political leverage. The federal government and international players must now choose between confrontation and compromise. The stakes: unity or partition, peace or renewed conflict. After today, Somalia's political landscape will never be the same. The future is being written not just in Mogadishu, but in Garowe, Kismayo and Hargeisa. Gap 2s. As the dust settles from the summit, the path forward remains uncertain, but not without hope. Across the cities and dusty roads of Somalia, citizens watch and wait, their voices rising in marketplaces and tea houses, wondering what tomorrow will bring. Will this moment spark a new era of collaboration or deepen old divides? The choices made by leaders today will echo for generations. In the face of uncertainty, the resilience of the Somali people endures. Their dreams for peace, prosperity, and recognition remain undimmed. The journey is far from over, but the first steps toward a new future have already been taken. In the days that follow, a quiet determination spreads across Somalia. From Mogadishu to Hargeisa, young people gather in classrooms and community centers, debating the future they wish to build. Elders share stories of unity and hardship, reminding the next generation of what's at stake. Though politicians make headlines, it is the everyday citizens, the farmers, teachers, entrepreneurs, and students, who hold the true power to shape what comes next. As the sun rises on a new day, hope is not just a word, but a movement. It lives in small acts of kindness, in the rebuilding of schools, in the laughter of children playing in the streets. With each passing day, the Somali people show the world that their story is not only about borders or politics, but about resilience, dreams, and the unbreakable will to move forward, together. And so, the journey continues, led by the voices of tomorrow. As the echoes of debate and dreams ripple across the land, a new chapter quietly unfolds. In the heart of Somalia's bustling cities and remote villages, the seeds of change take root. Community projects spring to life, young engineers designing clean water systems, women's groups launching literacy campaigns, artists painting murals of peace and unity. International partners watch with renewed interest. But it is the Somali people who lead the way, forging connections that transcend old divisions. Technology bridges distances, allowing voices from every corner to join the conversation. Social media buzzes with ideas, support and pride. The promise of a new dawn is no longer distant. It is built in every handshake across clan lines, every shared meal, every act of courage to forgive and to hope. The world watches, but it is Somalia's own people who write the next lines of their story, one filled with possibility, dignity, and the enduring belief that together a brighter future